Welcome to Letterboxbookclub. Book Club. My name is Claire.
And I'm Mackenzie.
And today we are talking about Sarah J. Maas's House of Sky and Breath, the illustrious sequel to House of Blood and Earth, and it's a doozy.
Yes, it is very intense.
And without further ado, when Kenzie is ready, she will read us the blurb.
Yep, I will read the blurb. The deadliest power, the fiercest passion, the cruelest fate. Bryce Quinlan and Hunt Athalar have made a pact. As they process the events of the spring, they will keep things platonic until the solstice. But can they resist when the crackling tension between them is enough to set the whole of Crescent City aflame? And they are not out of danger yet. Dragged into a rebel movement they want no part of, Bryce, Hunt, and their friends find themselves pitted against the terrifying Asteri, whose notice they must avoid at all costs. But as they learn more about the rebel cause, they face a choice. Stay silent while others are oppressed, or fight, and they've never been good at staying silent.
Alrighty, Kenzie. Thoughts, feelings, emotions, as always, as best as you can.
First of all, I would like to preface this by saying that there will be spoilers, lots of spoilers from the outset and throughout, because there is no way to talk about this without talking about what happens. So don't listen to this unless you've read it. This is a good book. This is a really good book. Plot-wise, a lot happens. I think some of the plot is a bit menial. We didn't really need it, and that's fine. But it was still a good read. I enjoyed the build-up, the climax, and the come-down, and then the second climax. So yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was good follow-up, good story building. I have thoughts about things, but we'll get into that. What about you?
I'm in a bit of a brain fog right now. I don't even know what to say. Yeah, I liked it. It was some really intense moments. It kind of leads on from the first book. It's still like very buddy cop investigation type of story, leading us in all sorts of places. I didn't think there was a good balance between all of the story point of views, and so some elements seem to stretch longer and others seem to just happen in a blink of an eye, and that kind of annoyed me, irritated me a little bit. I enjoyed it. I felt so sucked into this world, and like I really didn't want to finish it almost as well, because I just want to stay in it forever. And obviously the story has a long way to go. I wonder if it is going to be like a trilogy, or if it's gonna these books itself have a trilogy component with the added.
Yeah. Do you think it'll be 4 because it'll be the 4 houses?
I feel like they're just the titles of the books. It has nothing to do with the actual allegiances of the houses, is what bothers me as well. I suppose, considering where they're trying to get to at the end of the book, perhaps it will be called House of Flame and Shadow, or Shadow and Flame, whichever way it is. But yeah, anyway, I enjoyed it so much. But
yeah, I've written down as well that like I felt like I got very lost in the plot, and not in a good way, in like there was so much going on that I was like, I feel like you could have taken like 2 plots out. Like I feel like there was an A plot, a B plot, a C plot, and a D plot.
Darian's plot can get fucked and Ethan's plot can get fucked. It's okay, you can say it.
But not even that, like I could have gotten rid of the Emil stuff.
Yeah.
And just like been like about Sophie. Like it could have just been like finding out what was Danica's secrets involving Sophie, and then that would make them go into the rebellion. Like I have that, like, good on them. They saved an innocent life in the long run. At what cost? Yeah, like.
Do you think there was a rush to get this out? When was this published? Oh no, this was published
this year.
This year, yeah, I remember. That was a stupid question. But when was Crescent City last year?
Last year, yeah. I think there was a rush because she was pregnant and going on maternity leave.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Kenzie, lead us the way. Can we just start with the prologue?
Yes.
Because a prologue that is actually relevant to the book.
Yes.
We love it. We love it.
My first thought when I was reading the prologue, I was worried. I was like, oh no, this is going to be another like Nesta Cassian situation where they've just gone off from the plot and they've picked up side characters. And I was like, oh no, like where are Bryce and Hunt? Like where are my babies? But no, it was actually relevant. We were introduced to Agent Silver and Sophie and Emil and the Hind.
They were, in a chase, Sophie rescuing Emil and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a very intense start. At first I was like, what the hell is going on? I have no idea where we are, who these people are.
I was like, I hope this is not another history lesson.
Yeah, it kind of was, but not to the extent of of another series.
Yeah, I think it did a good job of setting up like this is about the rebellion, the rebels, and these are the new characters that you need to look out for, and blah 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 blah. Very good.
I enjoyed that. It was intense. And yes, it did kind of lead on with the plot perfectly. Great.
Yes, and I liked that Agent Silver, we find out that he is Prince Cormac.
Silverbow.
Yeah, I just have it as Silver.
Fair enough. Just kind of like with Agent Daybright, it's like Day
Yeah, it's like day and night, yeah.
That's all good. I don't know how I felt about like, because the human names are so basic, like Sophie, Pippa, and then you get
Yeah.
like, yeah, Rune and, you know, Hunt Orion. Like, the humans don't get cool names, it seems.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Good prologue, sets us up really well, and Thunderbirds, that's pretty cool. They sound also OP.
Yeah.
It reminds me of
Yeah.
that Firebird situation from that other series.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. No, yes, that's very reminiscent of that. So, I know, yeah, we were talking about how the arranged marriage between Cormac and Bryce, and you're like, oh, I wonder if like he just agreed to it to
Have an excuse.
close, yeah, have an excuse. And I was like, oh no, like I don't know. But now that I'm looking back, I'm like, yeah, actually, love. Like he's like, I love Sophie, so I'm gonna do everything in
I
my
think
power.
he even said like the engagement arrangement needed to be upheld because he can't just come to Crescent City willy-nilly all the time. And so it was
Yeah.
a very good cover, and of course Bryce has to blow it, doesn't she? But we'll get to that.
Yes.
But yeah, the arranged marriage straight off the bat, I was like, what the hell is going on? Welcome to the world,
Yeah.
princess. This is the life.
Yeah, you chose to use your title. Here are the consequences.
Exactly. Now, I kind of love that Bryce got a bit of her own medicine as well, like doing that stuff, because
Yeah.
like at this point she's been going around semi like with no consequence upon her, so it's nice, you know, as much as I love Bryce, it's nice getting her pegged down a little bit, you know. She needs to remember she's, you know, confined to this society, and like
Yeah.
otherwise she'd end up like Danica, dead in a ditch somewhere.
Yes. Bye bye. So I also like as well how it picked up straight away. Like Bryce and Hunt are kind of like just doing their thing. It's like they want each other, but they don't. But they want to keep it platonic, but they can't.
They're very hungry for each other.
Yeah, and they're like, we're gonna stay friends till solstice, and of course they don't.
The all, yeah, the good old can't wait.
I wanted to jump in to some plot just straight away because I like, yeah, I want to ignore some things because I don't care about it.
Also, at any point, if you have a get off your chest moment, just say it and we'll move on.
Yeah, so I want to talk about Bryce and Hunt being mates.
Yes.
So this was interesting because I was like, oh, maybe they're just using the term like mates because they love each other so much, and all that stuff. But then there's that thing about how Rune can smell that their scents have changed, and obviously they're mingled with each other. And I'm just wondering if that maybe in Lenathion, in the Crescent City, that mates goes beyond like a predetermined thing, like it does, or you do get like kind of a choice in the matter.
Yeah, and I think every species have their own different definition of what mates are. And so, yeah, when when Hunt told her, oh, can I call you my mate? That's why she, like, flipped out, essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, and, you know, given from the other series that we've read, mates have a completely significant meaning, and they're very strict to the same species as well, like Fae and Fae are mates. So it was very interesting to see how he is he like Fae of sorts as well, but yeah, very interesting. But Wibber knew, of course they're mates.
Yeah, women, of course they are. I was very worried that he was going to get the first love interest treatment and die or something.
It's still there. It could still happen.
Yeah, it could still happen, yeah. And then, but also, I kind of dislike Bryce because it's like, okay, yay, like you found your mate, well done. And I was like, there's now nothing stopping you. Like, you can be the princess and like marry Cormac and just go to like all the public things together or whatever and have like Hunt. Like, you don't have to be having sex with Cormac. You don't have to be doing anything spicy or anything. Like, you just need to be in public together. And it would have been fine. And like, because apparently like it's very accepted across all of these books and universes and series that you have your marriage and you have your consort.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm not saying that Hunt's her consort. Like, we know that Hunt's her mate. Like, she can do everything she wants with him in the privacy of her own time.
I agree with that. I love that rant.
Yeah. She would have saved a lot of trouble.
She would have, but of course, her despise for like the Autumn King and everything in regards to him and his views and ideology, she just is a big fuck you to him.
Yes.
But yeah.
Like, sometimes you just gotta put on your big girl pants.
But again, if Rune could smell the scent change, then everybody else could too. So like, they'd rather address the elephant in the room as opposed to just like keep hiding it. I thought there was going to be like a whole shipping war with like Ethan and Bryce because it's been known that Ethan kind of is in love with Bryce in a way. But yeah, I'm kind of glad that was kind of short-lived or never
Yeah.
really fully came to fruition. And plus, I don't know how I feel about the, like, you know, the brothers falling for the same girl type of thing, and then one's always jealous, and then one is somehow died or away or just incapacitated, and the other kind of swoops
Vampire
in.
Diaries.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, perhaps it is the underlying Vampire Diaries and all those types of things. Like, I'm sick.
Fallen.
Yeah, like, yeah. I love that they're mates, and it kind of bodes well with the type of powers that they have, like being able to recharge each other, or at least for Bryce to be able to charge her up. Like, I suppose anyone with intense magic and being able to harness her, they could do it. So it's not that special, I don't think, but no, I loved it.
But maybe it makes it more special because they're mates, so it's like a Karen and thing.
Yeah, that's what I was also thinking throughout the entire thing. They're carrying him. Oh no.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, she was able to do shit with Hypaxia, so
Yeah.
maybe starlight magic is like an intense raw magic as well, perhaps.
Yes, this is true. Sorry, I'll be yawning.
I also, low-key, before I found out the plot stuff, I kind of shipped Hunt and Celestina. Is it Celestina? Yeah.
Celestina, yeah.
Obviously before I knew the truth, so don't come for me. I retract that entire ship, but like,
That's okay.
I think because they're like so nice and understanding to each other, and it's just it's so refreshing having a nice archangel until she ratted them out.
Next, I think we could have cut out 3/4 of this book if Danica hadn't had 30,000 secrets.
Yes, I agree. 30,001.
Yeah, and I think it really well, for me at least, it really takes away from like the meaningful, like they're best friends, like they know everything about each other, like light it up, Danica. Because on a base level, Bryce had no idea who she was.
Yeah, that irritated me as well.
I've written down some secrets.
Okay.
Danica is a bloodhound.
Yes.
Dusk's truth.
Mm-hmm.
Her mate.
Yes.
That is all that I wrote down. But still.
Rebel Sophie.
Rebel Sophie.
Suppose the secret blood, the ancestry research comes from comes from the Dusk truth stuff as well, ish.
Yeah.
Perhaps. And what else?
The stuff in the first book. The synth.
The synth stealing the horn.
Yeah. Putting the horn in,
working with Micah and the Red Industries and Redna, whatever the fuck. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really does kind of discredit the relationship.
And it's like, I'm all for, like keeping like, I'm not going to tell so-and-so this because it's going to keep them safe. But this is a joke.
Yeah, look.
Like.
And it's the only way for kind of to keep Bryce dangling on. It's like, I must know about Danica, your supposed best friend. But it strings her along.
Like, if I was in that situation, I'd be like, you know what?
Good for her.
Fuck yeah, I'm done. Good for her. Like,
so it's nothing to do with me no more.
Yeah, I'm done.
But perhaps, I know, like, her and Sabine didn't have much of an interaction except for a couple little altercations, but maybe it's also a bit of a fuck you to Sabine, because Danica would sure as hell never tell her anything. So maybe a bit of superiority of like, I know her better than you as well, perhaps.
Yeah. And then also because Danica knew about Bryce's Starborn power.
Mm-hmm.
I think we touched on this last time, but like at some point, like that would have been very useful.
Yeah.
In a rebellion sort of like scenario as well. Like, come on.
Maybe Sophie told Danica that Pippa is not to be trusted.
Yeah.
And it's always in like modern day kind of even sci-fi fantasy where it's like there's an alien invasion or some sort of invasion and there are rebels and all that type of stuff. Like, you never trust the rebels. The rebels are never to be trusted. And so I had that feeling from the get-go from this book.
Yeah.
If there's, a war and there are supposed rebels with the, morally superior ideals, chances are they're not as good as you think they are.
Mm-hmm.
Which has reigned true thus far. I know we touched on this in the first book. It lines up with Danica's secrets and stuff. Like, her secrets should have stayed in the first book.
Buried with her?
Stayed buried with her in the first book. Like, I feel like that was the end of Danica. Again, just to reiterate, it really just is there to string Bryce along in this book.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why else would they have any intrigue in any of this rebel stuff? They would have been like, there's rebels in the city, let's dispatch them.
Yeah, and again, like we said before, this book has so much going on that, like, any plot could have been taken out and it still would have been the same book.
Yeah.
And it would have been more concise, but that's fine. I still love it. It's a good time.
Yeah.
I'm probably jumping ahead, so cut in if you want, but I want to talk about Rune.
It's too much work, I won't.
Yeah. I want to talk about Rune and Day, Agent Day Bride. communicating. First of all, I want to talk about how I think this is like a Marty kind of thing.
I reckon.
Yep. So there's a little bit of that going on. Second, so they are communicating. Don't know why Agent Silver can't do this.
Because he doesn't have that mind speak ability.
This is true. That's right. Sorry. Oh yeah, because I don't have the radio.
Yeah.
So this goes into some territory. I'm gonna try and do this, and then I'm gonna say the other things that,
Okay.
and you're gonna be like, yeah.
That's okay. I'll be sure to go. Yeah.
Thank you. So I want to talk about that because so that's really sweet. I'm assuming they fall in love. They do the mind sex, which I'm not really sure how it works, but that's fine.
Neither.
And then it found out that Agent Daybright is Lydia, who is the Hind, so she's essentially the enemy. So I have several things to say here. One, I love the fake bad guy trope. Love it.
Me too.
Love the fake torture.
Eat that shit up.
Yeah. Yum.
Good soup.
There's my bread and butter with my good soup. Love that. Second, there's a theory going around on the internet that makes me cry, and it's about how they think that Lydia, as the Hind, is going to have to torture Rune.
Oh.
Get in quotation marks, get the truth out of him, but then like he'll collapse, and then she'll be in his mind, like holding him and saying sorry.
No,
and,
that's so heartbreaking. No.
Yes. And then this is the last one. This is a one. Reese and Rune are related.
Yeah. I agree with that because
I'd like to go more into this later, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just the descriptions alone, like it just seems like they are a descendant of that particular fae.
Yeah, because okay, I'll just go into my theories now.
Let's just go. Let's have fun.
Okay. So they both, are described as having purple eyes. The powers are in shadows, but they have starlight in their shadows. So it can be like overrun by the darkness, but it's not. And then the Daimati and their black hair.
Yeah, and just their like starlight sort of night aesthetic. Cause see, and I sent you a message. Imagine Rune at Starfall, like. Yeah. And even now Bryce, potentially. Yeah. Like, The Shining, look, I don't know, dude. Because you know that whiteboard chick on TikTok?
Mm. With the spatula.
Yeah, with the spatula. Hey, Trigger Kenzie.
Yeah. Hello, spatula. I know you're listening to these now.
I screenshotted a video. I think it had spoilers, but like I just screenshotted the video just so I can have her username so I can go back. I'm definitely going to look back through her TikToks and just watch every single video now that
I love watching them, but I don't know what it is about her, but she gives me the ick.
Yeah, really? I don't know. Maybe it's the sanctimoniousness of the tone, like this is this and that, blah, blah, blah.
I think so,
maybe.
Yeah. And it's like, yes, this makes sense.
But ultimately, we don't know.
Yeah, but like, I want to punch you in the face for no reason.
Oh, no. I hope she doesn't listen to this.
I'm sorry, spatula girl.
But I guess they could be descendants, or Sarah J. Maas just has an aesthetic that she likes.
No, bro, I have a whole theory about this. Okay. Actually, I didn't come up with the theory, but like I have read the theories about this.
Yeah.
We'll get into it later.
Okay. Rune and the Hind. I really loved just the whole progression of that. You know, started out as, who are you? It's like, I'm your contact, whether you like it or not. With the Daimati thing, I think because they connected with the crystal first, it just opened the pathway for communication. Yeah. Like, it might... I think that's what Rune even said. Yeah. But it is kind of weird.
But I think, again, like, Rune has... I don't know, because it's hard in these books, because it's hard to know if it's, like, a mate... No, it's not a mate thing. But when, like, Aelin and Rowan kind of, like, mind speak to each other, it's never addressed as, like, are they actually having a conversation, or are they just, like, looking at each other? Yeah. Because I think Rune does this to Bryce as well. At some points, he, like, speaks through her mind. Whereas with Reese and Faye, right, it's like outwardly like, we're both Daimati, like we can do this, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if Rune just has it, or if it's like because of the crystal, or like maybe the crystal like unlocked that power in him, or...
Perhaps, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I loved Rune and Lydia, like I shipped it.
Yeah, did you have any inkling that it was the Hind?
Well... Not until it was confirmed. Like, you know, when you think you know, and then you're like, whatever. It's just, after some big conversations that they have, like, the Hind and the Harpy turn up at the bar. I'm like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
And then not Hunt, Rune and the Harpy and all that had that encounter at the at the ball.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I was like,
The
weird.
only time that like I thought was at the ball when like, oh, let's meet up, and the Hind and the Harpy are there. And then I'm just like, oh, like surely not.
Yeah, was sus from there on out. And then once when Rune and Hunt were captured by Mordok and the Harpy and stuff at the end, and it was described as, oh, Rune smells a very familiar scent. I'm like, and then next line is the Hind shoves the Harpy and all that type of stuff. So
Yeah.
but no,
Yeah.
I loved it. But yeah, I love a double agent trope as well.
Yeah, so good.
But yeah, oh, it's just gonna be heartbreaking for the next book or series of books, however many is gonna occur.
Yeah, so I think as well, I was just reading the next, I think Crescent City is coming first, and then the next ACOTAR, but the next ACOTAR is going to be 6 months before this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be in between like Silver Flames and this.
Oh, the continuity is gonna be so annoying.
Yeah. Because then everyone's like, that's why it makes sense that like it's Azriel that finds Bryce.
Because if we think about where Silver Flames ends, they're still looking for Koshi and all that stuff.
Yeah.
He could have been on a solo mission and then found her, yeah.
Yeah.
Or his shadows would have told him where she was.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, we digress.
So then, I just have about the finding Emil plotline. That he has no powers, he's but a human.
It is a waste of time.
And he was with the Viper Queen the whole time. Because, of course.
Yeah, I'm a little annoyed that Bryce kind of had the off-screen figuring it out type of moment.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, really? Are we doing that again, Sarah?
Yeah. Please stop with the off-screen.
But yeah, glad that he ended up being safe. It sucks that he had no Thunderbird powers, but I thought I kind of had a feeling he didn't have powers because in the prologue when the Thunderbird was jumping boat to boat, I'm like, there's no way it's the kid. The kid would be too scared and like too injured and malnourished from the camp. So I had a feeling he had no magic. So very glad for that to have been confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like just Tharion and his obsession with finding it, like it makes me a bit more sus of the River Queen, of course, as well.
Yeah. And it's like, I get that like Tharion is just like ultimately like chaotic good.
Yeah, although he did annoy me this book, unfortunately, my boy.
Yeah.
I just don't understand, where the River Queen lies as well, because like he's trying to get it out of her.
Yeah.
Obviously she's obviously paranoid about the Ocean Queen and like her sisters and all that stuff, and so she's trying to be on the offensive in case anything happens.
Yeah.
And and then Tharion just wants to do the right thing by a kid, and then it's like, but would that mean dragging the kid beneath? And it's like, oh, don't want to do that. So yeah, poor Tharion.
Do we want to talk about Tharion's blood oath?
Yeah, let's just talk about Tharion real quick.
Yeah.
He has this whole he is literally the Little Mermaid moment. Like, he wants to be above, like, he loves technology.
I've said from the start, like, he's going to give up his tail.
I thought he would, with the Viper Queen, with their deal, but he said, oh, so long as you have a tub that I can be in for a day, like, every day.
Yeah, like once a day, yeah. But I think at some point, like, I think it's going to be one of those things where he's on a mission or something and he can't get to water.
Yep.
And like it's going to be like the decision is made for him.
I don't think the Viper Queen will let him go again. He's just going to be stuck fighting unless somehow they make it back, Bryce and all that make it back to Midgard. Yeah. And they're like, we need Tharion now, life or death.
Yeah.
Or the River Queen. Oh, I suppose it's said that the River Queen doesn't fuck with the Viper Queen, but they might come after him. Like, is he stronger? Like, does he hold the same strength and ability when he's shifted? Or
I think so.
He just loses the ability to have underwater benefits, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then it's like, I don't know, like, I guess, I can't make the decision for him, but, like, he hates the River Queen, and he hates what she makes him do, and it's like, if you just gave up your tail, but then she would have no, like, precedence over you.
But they still could drag him down.
Or just stay away from the water.
They'll go after him. Travel half an hour away from any coast and they won't touch
you. Go inland. Go far inland.
Go bush.
They show up in a puddle. Hello.
I don't think they could do that. Yeah, Tharion and the Blood Oath. I love the whole talking about the Blood Oath concept because we know where that comes from.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tharion, you dickhead, you moron.
Yeah, I like how there's little sprinklings of everything throughout, and it's like we know where this is going.
Yeah, for sure. Another reason why I didn't really... Tharion had his moments is, you know, he's trying to get the kid for the River Queen. She's breathing down his neck. We get it. It's a tough gig working for someone who you don't like and who are of the beliefs that you do not believe in. And he became really selfish about it, and that annoyed me. And then he dragged Ethan into it, which I didn't really appreciate. But then he's off on his own adventure, so that's fine. But to then, when he was talking about trading the dragon for her, I'm like, you idiot, why would you do that? I understand, yeah, breathing down your neck, but he's very tunnel vision, selfish, must appease the River Queen. But it just goes to show how brutal she probably is. I mean, to be fair, like, picking rubbish out of the ocean doesn't seem like a bad punishment, but obviously to a mer, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't like that toxic, you know, relationship between all of them. And like the River Queen's daughter, one, she doesn't have a name yet, which irritated me again.
Oh, she's just again so irrelevant.
And she's like starry-eyed about the above, but like as soon as Tharion says one little thing that may offend her, she's crying to mummy. It's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Pissed me off. And yeah, that whole storyline could get cut, in my opinion.
Yeah.
We've already established that the River Queen's iffy because she wants this alleged Thunderbird kid for some reason. Like, obviously the topic at hand, the blood oath.
Yeah.
As soon as she like cut her arm or something, I'm like, oh boy, oh no.
Yeah, but then I'm thinking, like, again, is this just another situation where, like, if someone else cut their arm and lets him drink from it, like, is that going to break that one?
Well, he has to be released first before that happens. But
I just think there's so many power plays going on, and it's too much.
Yeah, I get that. But I also like the description. This book describes blood oaths better than like Throne of Glass ever did, because it's like a tether that, you know, pulls him back. Like, he knows that this is as far as he can go because he has to come back to that point.
Yeah.
Who else was going to have a blood oath but they got stopped? Was it Cormac? Wanted a blood oath to Rune about something, about joining the rebels or something like that. And I was like, oof. So obviously blood oaths are not an uncommon thing throughout these worlds.
Yeah.
Alrighty, anything else you want to... Although it is going to be sad that he's just going to be like a fighter pit boy for the rest of his life now.
Yeah.
That's sad. Oh, he's going to have to fight the dragon, I reckon, one day. And she's going to fry his ass. Grilled fish.
I want to talk about Prince Adis.
The real Prince Adis? I mean, because like Regulus disguises him at a point in the book. That's why I thought. But yeah, the whole Prince Adis and the Princes of Hell, they're interesting. Again, more historical politics is a lot.
I'm so confused about the titles because, like, there's the Asteri, which is obviously like the overseers, and then there's like the angels, the Legion, like whoever Hunt is.
Well, archangels, then angels.
Oh yeah, archangels, angels. But then there's like the Autumn Queen, the Viper Queen, the River Queen, and then like
they're all under the archangels. Archangels are the governors, and then obviously within the Autumn King, Viper Queen, there's a Senate that represents them.
Yeah. I'm just like, why are there so many kings and queens and shit, yo?
Well, the princes are of their own planet, as we've learned, so...
Yeah.
Also, I got confused. I thought Adis was the Star Eater in the first book, because he was described as that. But then in this book, Apollyon, I think, was also a Star Eater. So I am confused. Who ate who?
True.
I think Sirius... Was it Sirius that got ate or someone else? I don't know.
Yeah, and then also Sirius and Regulus.
Regulus is... Well, it's according to his level percentage.
Yeah, but like I know that they're constellations, but it's like Harry Potter already been there, done that, yo.
Regulus and Sirius, I know.
Yeah.
We know where the inspiration has come from.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know, dude. All I know is, the Asteri, the Overseers, and everyone else are just plebs.
Okay. But so I do want to talk about Prince Adis for a moment, because a lot of people think that hell is kind of like an omnipresent thing across the multiverse as a whole. And so they think that Adis has been putting all these things in place among all the worlds for the big bad.
I understand that,
of
yes.
the Asteri. Yeah.
But I would like to see the evidence.
But to admit like that, yeah, that makes no sense to me.
I would like to see the evidence, please. It has to be obvious end of evidence. None of this like vague bullshit that you later come back to that could easily be missed.
And I thought that like he would play a bigger role considering the epilogue from the first book. But yeah, this is what I was saying, like when I think we spoke about last time of the epilogue. I was like, I'm very disappointed in that because of how, like, like, not when things are about to get so interesting. It's like, well, are you making your move?
Well, after we learnt what we learnt in the book that Regulus played Adis a few times, could that have been Regulus talking to Jezebel?
Yeah, true.
See,
Yeah.
now we don't know.
I know nothing.
But yeah, the idea that Adis has been planting all these things to bring to this point, again, unless there's some extreme obvious evidence that I've missed, like...
Yeah.
And there are people, I understand there are people who, like, tab their books and, like, go through every minute detail. Obviously, I don't have time for that, personally, or the energy.
Yeah.
But... I need something very obvious, like if the name was thrown out in Akata or in Throne of Glass, then I'd be like, alright, so he's meddled.
Yeah.
But obviously, there's nothing yet. But obviously, then through the history that we learn, Hell is a big power play in this as well. So
yeah,
interesting to learn that they actually, worked with the Fae to get rid of the Asteri. Like, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think the big power play that's coming is to get rid of the Asteri.
Yes.
But again, at what cost? So that we're talking about the Asteri, let's talk about the Asteri.
Okay. Parasites that they are.
Yeah, they're just genuinely shit people. Beings,
yeah, entities?
Yeah, entities, but like, we been new.
Yeah. It was very interesting. Obviously, through Bryce and the Underking's encounter, like, we learned that the Fae or the Vanir who die, like, their light is then kind of pushed through a gate and then, like, processed energy into the world. And obviously the Asteri are feeding on that to maintain. What happens if they get to 100%? It's my question. I thought it was like a power thing, like they can burst power. Kind of like Bryce in recharging her energy, but like they need that to be able to destroy. Because they're described as being able to decimate planets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like, do they just reset after they've used it? Because like, obviously they've had a lot of wars over the thousands of years.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But yeah, the Asteri, weird beings. This gives me Allegiant vibes, from Divergent.
Yeah.
Like they're making it too sciencey away from the dystopian, what I mean?
And then, they're talking about how, like, what they have been through multiple universes, and this is, like, one of the only ones where, like, they haven't been destroyed or whatever.
Yeah, and it's the literal breeding ground, Midgard. But yeah, it's interesting. Again, I don't know which prince of Hell like ate Sirius at this point.
Yeah.
It's good to know that they can actually be destroyed, but I wonder how. Because like even the Prince of the Pit, they seem or those Hell princes, they seem like just as omnipresent, just as entities that are as well as the Asteri. So I'm so confused about. I can't visualize it. It's hard. It's easy to visualize kind of Regulus because, it's said that he takes the form of a Fae boy. So, like, it's easy to put the being, and I understand how powerful he is and everything due to him trying to blast Bryce. But, yeah, it's just hard to imagine them just being.
Yeah, and, like, what's the end goal here? Yeah, because, like, what, are you just going to reach 100 and wipe everyone out and start again? Like,
I suppose that we're going to find out what's going to happen after 100%. Maybe it is, like, a recharge thing, like... At 100%, they are capable of, like, destroying planets.
Yeah. And then, like, what's the significance of Bryce being Starborn? Like, does that mean she has the power to do it? Like,
I don't know. Maybe. Because she is almost like a hybrid, kind of. Because, she feeds off First Light as well in order for her power. See, all these intricate details about the First Light and the Second Light. It's too much. I don't want to think about it.
So, let's just talk about the most important crossover in all of history. So, I'm just drawing a picture, and I'm really into it at the moment. I'm just going to finish it.
Or maybe, how about, let's save the crossover in history for last, because...
Okay, well, then I'd also like to talk about... Shush! Claire, I'm talking.
Sorry.
No. So, while we're talking about the Asteri and Hell and everything, so there's a really important quote, and it's Ethan, and he says, "Hell is our enemy. Is it?" Adis laughed. "Who wrote the history?" And then Tharion says, "The Asteri."
Yep.
Hell knows something, and I think this is all just Hell's big plan.
But like only now, really, in this book, Hell is really coming into it. I know in the last book, the gates were open. So Micah wanted to open the gates of Hell, so was he inadvertently doing a good thing?
I think of it, or I don't know, because there's like the different circles of Hell, right?
Yeah.
So maybe he wanted to open like a really big bad one or whatever, but Adis is like, nah, like I'm rallying my army, like I'm ready.
Right. I feel like, because Adis is the prince of two pits, the chasm and the pit itself.
Yeah.
So, but I wonder what the order. I think maybe it is established, but the order of the levels and everything.
Yeah.
Hell, yep. It's gonna be one hell of a book. The next one. But yeah. Look. And then the other Hell Prince, Thanatos, or whatever. Like, I don't
Yeah.
get him. I don't get it. There's too many. We may as well, Sarah. You may well have included the other 4 at this point. Also, I just realized their holy number is 7, and it's like 7 by 7. Where else did we have 7 by 7?
This is true. This is true.
I just want to digress quickly, if this is alright with you, Kenzie, with your permission. I
Yeah.
want to talk about.
Yes, because I'm just up to the crossover now. Those were all my notes.
Okay, all good. I want to talk about Ethan and his little journey.
Yep.
Your reaction is enough.
if we must.
I feel like his story could have been non-existent, just because, much like the witch politics in another book, I don't care about wolf politics. You know what I mean?
I know, because they've not been that important
No.
at all in the story.
Mm.
And you killed off the most important pack,
Yeah.
apparently.
We didn't even see the rose pack or whatever it was. I don't even know anymore.
Yeah. And there's nothing, they're not relevant in this story anymore.
Other than just Sabine's disdain and everything. Like, it's funny how, he got kicked out from his pack and everything.
Yeah.
Even though the Prime wasn't really aware of it. He still feels so strongly towards, like, wolf values. Like, wolves look after each other.
Yeah. But they've done nothing to, look after him.
Yeah, exactly. And, now he's wanting to fight, free the alpha wolf from the astronomer and everything. It's like, I don't really care about that. Like,
that was the only thing, and I was like, that's the only thing I cared about. I was like, oh, she's an alpha, and it's like, does that mean that she is going to like become alpha or whatever, like, and change all the politics, or is she going to like help Ethan? And then the only other thing was, I was like, oh, maybe she'll become Ethan's love interest.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well, because he has very much alpha vibes, it has been said.
Yeah.
And obviously we'll see how that goes. Obviously, I haven't read the epilogue yet because I legitimately, finished the book an hour ago upon recording this. But,
I don't even remember the epilogue.
Yeah, I don't know. It just starts off with Ethan Holstorm, and I'm like, I'll read you later. Also, just quickly, the whole astronomer and the mystics interaction, like, after that was established, it seemed like every other bugger had a set of mystics on hand, because the Asteri have mystics, and then, I think, when Lydia was talking to Rune, when they were captured.
Oh, she's related to Danica.
Oh yeah, because she's the Fender heir. Yeah, that's established.
She's a Fender heir. Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
But Lydia was talking to Rune, and they revealed the Ocean Queen's big ass ship. Like, they have mystics on board as well. It's like, where have these mystics been the entire time?
Yeah.
And the whole vibe was creepy as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And the astronomer is a sorcerer. Could be in ties with another sorcerer that we know.
Yep.
And he has slaves, and who else has a slave? I'm connecting the dots that don't need to be connected.
We are the new spatula girl.
I'm genius. Ethan's wolf politics, I don't really care about. Astronomer, creepy. What else? I honestly stopped taking notes because I got so into it. And I was like, what is going on? Perhaps we can have a little chat about some other characters real quick that have made an entrance, and just general thoughts and opinions. It could be quick fire. But we learn of Baxian. He is a hellhound. He was part of Sandriel's Triari, alongside the Harpy, the Hind, we obviously know as Lydia, and Agent Daybright. Pollux, obviously Lydia / the Hind's lover, but that must really suck for her. Like,
this is what I wanted, to say. In a lot of these books, I'm coming across a lot of sexual assault.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the word.
Vibe.
Vibe, yeah,
undertones.
Undertone, yeah, sexual assault undertones, and it's doesn't have to be included. Yeah.
Even with Celestina and Ephraim?
Yeah, Ephraim.
The way she described him as oh, he's a really nice guy, he's been a good friend, this is fine. And then they have an interaction, I think at the mating thing, and he's deep voice, disinterested in what's going on. I'm like, are you contradicting right now?
Yeah, and then she was oh, we'll make an heir or whatever, and it's yeah, but
Celestina has to emphasize, I'm doing this willingly, especially in this day and age. We don't need sexual assault undertones anymore.
Yeah, and then how Lydia's like, oh, like, it's okay, like, I don't mind doing it. And it's like, yeah, but you do.
Yeah, because you don't want to. Yeah, look, it's not
Yeah.
great, but I guess it just goes to show it's what you do what you have to do in order to keep your identity and your allegiances at bay. Unfortunately, it's the part you play.
But, like,
I understand.
yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, I know. Not to mention as well, like, going back to Arabin and Lysandra, because she was a minor.
Yeah. Let's get back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Also, with Sandriel's Triary, whatever. Like, they all have such cool names, like the Harpy, the Hammer, the Hind, and then it's just like Hunt is like the Umbra Mortis, and then Isaiah, and then fucking Naomi. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
And it seems like all, like, the Harpy, the Hind, the Hammer, and even like the Hellhound and all that stuff, or the Hound. Like, they're all monsters, and they just seem to be the same. Like, there's no real differential.
And also, we had the reveal that the Hind, Lydia, is a double agent. But then also, like, was it Baxian? That's Danica's mate.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, okay, are you a double agent as well?
Yeah.
But then I think it's implied that, like, he wasn't until, like, he met Danica. And then it's like, okay, I understand that you got to play this part. But once Danica is killed, do you not come forward to at least Bryce?
Yeah.
And say, hey, sup, I've been banging for years, bro. Like,
yeah, look, I don't know. Maybe Lydia and Baxian had a little agreement that, like, she'll give up her position and he can just, like, be on the inside, continue to be on the inside. I don't know. It's weird. Like, but do they even know that each other's a rebel? Well, obviously Baxian knows, kind of. Oh no, the Hind secret is still there because the Harpy is dead. Yeah. But, like, he knows something, and or he's keeping it from them as well. But I also got that Baxian had rebel vibes from the get-go. The way he was super nice to Hunt, and he's like, I don't fuck with Pollux or anything like that.
Yeah, and it's like, even if you are, like, a bad guy, it's like, you're not that nice.
Yeah.
Like, just to be like, oh, okay.
But yeah, and then Pollux is just a real creep. And again, they had an actual, altercation where, like, you know, he was about to sexually assault somebody, and then Baxian's like, she said no, and then Celestina is like, fuck this.
Yep.
Wasn't necessary. Like, we already knew that he gave off those vibes. Just the way he is around Lydia, and, you know, he's just so gross. I can't wait for somebody to kill him.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't understand, like, people can be evil without sexually assaulting people.
Yes.
Like, we get it.
Agreed. Even the whole, like, Tamlin Great Right thing is still weird.
Yeah, yeah.
It's still weird. But yeah, anyway. Things people do for a rebellion or for a cause.
Do you have anything else to touch on?
How did you feel about Celestina and Hypaxia?
Oh, I love queers all the time.
Gay pride.
Gay pride. Always. It's nearly Pride Month, so.
Yeah, we need to do something about that.
Yeah, this is my official coming out to everyone who hasn't already guessed that I am a bi woman.
Fantastic.
So yeah, I love it. And I love in modern society, that it's not like a shock and it's not a ploy anymore. Like, and it's not queer baiting. And I love when there's just, like, throwaway moments of, like, like person, like in Throne of Glass, when the two people were mates that worked at Mistwood and they were both males.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a big thing. It was just like, he's my mate.
Yeah. And obviously there are already themes throughout this book of pairings that, you know, aren't pairings that are there that are for not for, like, their own love of each other. It's for, like, the political and the allegiances, like Tharion and the River Queen's daughter.
Yeah.
And obviously, yes, Celestina and Hypaxia are at two different spectrums of leadership.
Yeah. The only issue that I have with it, like, I'm glad that, like, it wasn't, like, made, like, a big thing, but it is, like, they're literally making out in a closet.
Yeah, like, them hiding in the closet I had an issue with while they're having their fun.
I don't know, I think it kind of touched on it, but I don't know why, like, again, they couldn't just be like, oh, I'll marry Graham, whatever the fuck his name was, in public, and they'll have my consort, and, like, people know about it, like.
Yeah, I don't know, but I guess Hypaxia being a queen of her own, like, her affiliating with archangels is probably detrimental as well. Yeah. But I also kind of found annoying, it could be internalized misogyny towards, like, lesbian relationships in particular, but Declan was able to get a boyfriend off the bat and show him off, but like these two people had to hide in the closet. Like I had an issue with that. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I didn't expect them to be together. Again, there was a moment where I shipped Celestina and Hunt. Don't come for me.
Yeah.
It's redacted.
I know, when you were saying it, I was like, I can't say anything but stop.
Only just because they're so nice to each other, and I feel like they had a good understanding. But yeah, I love it. I hope, although I don't know how I feel about Celestina's kind of betrayal there, because she kind of ratted them out, and then Hypaxia like adores these people. So like, it'll be interesting.
Hypaxia is still kind of like, roped in because she is to marry Rune.
Yeah, if he still lives.
Yeah.
But I love the relationship. Again, would have liked it not to be hiding in a closet, literally. But oh well, what can you do? Beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah. And then because I think as well in these types of books, like there's no like homophobia, like it's not a thing, because it's like it's love or like attraction on a primal level. So I don't know why it had to be like.
I think a lot of the demographic is straight people. This is going to turn into a little bit of sexuality talk. Is straight people, because Feyre Reese, Nessa Cassian, all these big characters in these books or throughout Sarah J Maas's books are all straight, essentially, bar like more. Yeah,
which isn't even explored fully
not
yet.
So like, wouldn't mind a bit more queer representation, to be honest. But I guess with the demographic, because everyone wants the morally grey men, tattooed men with the ladies. It's like, in the next year, let's get rid of book boyfriends and just have book girlfriends.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Or just book partners.
Book partners, sure. Why not?
Yeah, I'll swing.
Yep, that was the only issue I had in terms of,
same.
Not much really happened at the equinox. See, moments like the equinox and the ball, everything, I thought it was going to be bigger. Like something more dramatic.
A big event, I mean, but although is this where Bryce publicly says that her and Hunt are mates?
But that's more of a political scale.
Where are the consequences?
Just Cormac's anger and the Autumn King's anger.
Yeah.
But that event I thought was going to be a little bit bigger, a bit more dramatic, because of the whole Rune seeking out day as well.
Yeah.
And then I thought finding Emil was going to be bigger, but it turned out it was just Viper Queen all along.
Yeah.
Although what I do like, and I think Sarah has picked up on everyone's annoyance, is that it wasn't a complete surprise about the reveal on how Bryce communicated that to her parents. Because she said, they had a fight and they apologized through postcards and all that type of stuff. And so obviously that reveal was well known.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of anything else I want to say before we talk into your theories. I don't know how I feel about Tristan Flynn ogling the dragon the entire time as soon as she was rescued.
Yeah.
It's it's not gonna happen, dude, fuck off. And also just the 3 sprites as well, they were fun, but it was so sad. And that story as well, I understand Ethan being a good guy, he wanted to steal the sprites and free them, but it's there's a lot of consequence from that now. Good luck.
Yeah. And then I think it's hard as well because of the fantasy of it all and stuff. But he is a young guy? Yeah, he's a young adult, and drowning in grief.
Yeah, for sure. He needs therapy, my guy.
Yeah. But also his whole story about what's his name? Connor's soul and stuff. It's he's dead. There's no evidence that his soul is in torment.
Yes.
So it's let it go.
Yeah, and again, that whole storyline as well, it's he's dead, there is nothing you can do about it unless a necromancer raises him, but as far as they're aware, at that point, they didn't know Hypaxia could raise him, and there was never an attempt to raise him, so and once you're dead, who cares what happened to your soul? It's not the soul can be, or savored, it's not you can grab a soul and put it in someone else's body in this world, I don't think.
Yeah, exactly.
But maybe he just wanted, just the assurance that he's okay, even in spirit in the afterlife. But how fucked up the whole, you die and then you use your energy to charge everything. Ugh, weird.
Yeah, and then the Asteria eat you.
The Under King has a bit of a nibble.
Yeah.
Good soup. Meeting the Under King at Erd's temple, I thought that was going to be bigger, but Bryce was able to splish them out. And then they hid in a tunnel, and then that was it. There was no great getaway or anything.
Yeah.
Alright. Also, the Hypaxia Ethan thing, when they were trying to connect with Connor's soul, they were left, they had, I suppose, little challenge, but, that was non-consequential. They made it back to the apartment fine. They were a bit ragged, but why was that necessary?
Yeah. Another, qualm is, Hypaxia is what? Yeah, like the witch queen. Like, how is she just running around with these people, like, doing shit? Like, do you not have, like, meetings to
She
be
is
in?
visiting her fiance.
This is true. This is true.
A lot of facades happening, and like, yeah, it gets a bit
Yeah.
confusing. And then even with the Asteri archives, like, it happened. It's the last literal like 50 pages. Like, there could be more to it, but everything is just rush. Too much fart-assing around.
Yeah.
Going to the Underking and talking to Jezebel and blah blah blah.
And then I think she'll come back into play a bit more. But yeah, I thought that again, Jezebel would have a bigger part in this as well. Like, I was like, is she going to be dodgy?
But she just ends up giving Bryce whatever she wants.
Yeah, and it's like, I saw a theory floating around that like she's like trapped Bryce into like some sort of bargain.
Ooh. We know how much Bryce likes selling herself to save people.
Same, bro.
Alright, let's talk about like the last part. We'll go on into your theories.
Okay, so I think both of us going into this. So we had seen the spoiler.
Yes,
of
fucking
the last line being, "Hello, Bryce Quinlan. My name is Reese Ann."
Time out for a second. Obviously, we've been talking about it a lot throughout this episode anyway, but if that name does not ring a bell to you at all, please leave. Yeah. It's okay. Goodbye. For those of us who know what's going on, feel free to stay. But for those who don't, find out on your own accord, please. Goodbye. All right.
Yeah.
Go on.
Go read Avatar. Anyway, so hello, Bryce Quinlan. My name is Reese Ann. And I thought, because I know how these types of books go, I was like, it's all going to be build up, and then we're just going to get that, and that's going to be the cliffhanger. But let's talk about the crossover of the century. Better than Endgame, if you will. Better than Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, if you will.
Better than Spider-Man, if you will.
No, not better. Andrew Garfield is king always. No, if you will. So, yeah, and I was like, oh, yeah, it's just going to be like plot, and then that. But the whole, final chapter, so they, break into where the Asteri are, they're finding out all, nomming on people's souls, essentially, and the first light, and then they, realise that, the portals can be opened and used. And Bryce is it's very emotional, saying goodbye to everyone. They're all long live the Queen. Bryce is intending to go to hell, but so she goes through a portal and she ends up in Prithian. She ends up in the Night Court.
Yes, quick question.
Yes.
So the gate to the portal and that gate was already connected to Prithian.
So, no. I think it was just a portal, and all she had in her mind is that she needs help.
Okay.
And so the portal magic was just these are the people that can help.
Abraxas to Dorian?
Yes, yeah, exactly. So the magic
calls to like.
Yeah, well, she had the sword, so.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And her bloodline, which we'll get into. Anyway, so it just took her to the people who could help. So I'm going to quickly just get out some key quotes.
I love this. I don't know if you want me to say this now, but it was described as Azriel finding her as she is landed, trying to figure out her place. Honestly,
yeah. So this is where I was getting to, but go on.
Yeah. It was weird. You know, we now know she's in Prithian, but she's calling it hell. Yeah. I'm like, no, it's not hell. You're in.
Yeah, she was hell had grass and mist. So she doesn't know. Anyway, so I have an itchy face. But she also says, I think this is just I think this isn't a connection in any way. I think this is just a throwaway. But when she's telling herself to get up, it reminds me of Kale and Aelin in Throne of Glass.
Aww.
Yeah.
Yeah, cute.
Anyway, so it's saying blah 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 blah. There's pain, something icy and sharp pressed against her throat. A cool male voice spoke above her in a language she did not recognize. She glimpsed black boots, dark scale-like armor over a tall, muscled body, wings, great black wings, and she thinks a demon's wings. But at this point, I'm crying.
I was tearing up.
Yeah, I'm talking about it now, and I'm tearing up already.
These fucking bad boys.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and she keeps describing this person as a demon. I'm like, he is not a demon. He is a baby. He's just a baby.
Yeah, so, he's just a baby. The male's face didn't soften as he picked up the sheathed star sword, then gestured for her to step closer with scarred hands.
Who do we know that has
this
scarred
is obviously,
hands?
So it doesn't name them, but this is obviously Azriel. And then he takes her to the river house. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so the front door in the foyer opened and multiple people rushed in, males and females, all speaking in a strange language. The petite, dark-haired female with angular eyes like furies drew up short.
Is that
Her
Amren?
red painted mouth dropped open. That's Amren.
Yep, okay. I just want to establish that. As I was reading, because you were watching me read that page, I'm like trying to figure out who's who.
Yeah, that's Amren. I'm going to go through them all.
Amren looks
Another
like Fury.
winged male, broader than the other. Another winged male, broader than the other, swaggered in, a pretty female with brown gold hair at his side. So that's Cassian and Nesta.
Mm-hmm.
She says, like, Prince Adis. The petite, dark-haired female staggered back, a hand to her mouth. Amren knows Adis. I have theories. The female, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, the female eyed the star sword, looked to the first winged male, Bryce's captor, nodded to the dark-hilted knife at his side. The male drew it and Bryce flinched. What the fuck? The knife could have been the twin of the star sword. Like calls to like.
Truth teller is the missing dagger.
Truth teller.
Goddamn.
Front door opened again. First, a lovely female with the same brown gold hair as the one already standing before Bryce entered. She wore a loose white shirt over brown pants, both splattered with paint. Hello, Farah.
Hopefully her art has
And then
improved.
the winged, dark-haired male who stepped in behind her. Bryce gasped, Rune. Then male blinked. His eyes were the same shade of violet blue as Rune's. His short hair the same gleaming black. This male's skin was browner, but the face, the posture, it was her brother's. His ears were pointed too, though he also possessed those leathery wings like the two other males. Hello, Reese.
The most beautiful human, the most beautiful man she's ever seen.
Blah, blah, blah. She's talking. Amren translated. She wants to know what your name is. My name is Bryce Quinlan. Blah, 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 blah. Hello, Bryce Quinlan. My name is Reese.
Quickly, what I find funny
Yes.
is like Crescent City is set in this modern world, right? With technology and social media and internet, and yet it's the ancient times to them. It's an ancient place.
I know.
That fucked me up.
Yes, yeah. And like, or I'm thinking that like because like the Asteri started and like the Asteri are obviously like really old, that's just like the language that they've used. But like at this point, does Bryce have a phone in her pocket? Like imagine she whips that out. Like
yeah, like they'd go insane. Or
and
maybe
like let me show you all these selfies. Like
Amren would probably recognize it, I reckon. But Amren was able to recognize the language, so I think you have a theory on Amren.
I mean, Amren is not of this world.
No, she is not. And she is at least 15,000 years old. I believe that was like the number when we met her and everything. Alright, go ahead, Mackenzie. Blow my mind, please.
I don't know if it's going to blow your mind, but this is just what I've come across. And like, anyway, obviously, Rhysand and Rune are related.
In some way.
Somehow.
Descendants somehow.
In some way. So, I've seen the Spatula Girl. She like figures it out. Rhysand's mother had a sister. So they think that her sister somehow ended up in Midgard, and then so that bloodline carried on. I think Amren is either... I thought she was Asteri, now I think she's Valg, because she knows Prince Adis.
And she needs like a body to like a physical body to be in, I guess.
Yeah, to be in, yeah.
But for her, it's just described that she doesn't, when she is in her true form, she doesn't know anybody. But I feel like that's not true for the Valg.
Okay, wait for it. Rhys has Valg blood somewhere.
How?
Because his power comes from darkness and shadows. So they just think like somewhere.
I don't know, dude. My mind is.
I'm just saying what.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying what I've read.
He could be
okay.
Valg. Okay.
People are saying that Bryce and Az and Rune are related.
Okay, just because of the whole shadows.
Shadows.
The Asteri described Midgard as like a breeding ground, and they've pulled species from different areas, or they're putting species from Midgard into different areas. I forget which way it is.
Yeah.
So like it is very possible that they are of the same Fae heritage.
Yeah, and then because of the sword, like they think that like their family heirlooms or whatever.
Or perhaps the sword was dumped in Prithian from Thea. By Thea.
Yeah, and then because they knew that like if they were both together, so maybe there's a third because we love a trope. We love three. Yeah, so that and then those all together have the power to defeat the Asteri.
Interesting.
And so they dumped them all in different areas.
Like a bigger scavenger hunt than the word keys.
Yes.
Which brings me to this as well. So why in Throne of Glass is it the word keys that open the portals?
Yes.
That's my question.
Exactly.
It seems like portals can be opened through other artifacts, but why did they have keys? Oh no, they also have the Walking Dead book. Never mind. I'm an idiot. Don't worry.
Okay, oh good.
But maybe the word
And-
keys is the one to hell.
True. Or like the world between worlds. And now for the most popular, but the most devastating theory is that Rune is going to die.
His bloodline ends with him.
But would his bloodline not also be Bryce's bloodline if they're cousins? No, they're brother and sister. Sorry, I'm an idiot. They're brother and sister.
Half siblings.
Yeah, because they have this. They share the same. I guess she's Bryce.
I've tried thinking. I've been doing the mental gymnastics, but maybe it's because he's a man. You know.
Maybe it's because like his name would pass on, her name wouldn't pass on. It would be Athala. Anyway, so Rune's gonna die.
He's probably not gonna die. He's probably not gonna have kids. Yeah, they're in. Hunt and Rune are in a real tricky spot.
Hunt has been haloed.
I was just gonna say, Hunt is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how I feel about slave.
I
slave.
can send you this fan art now.
Okay. Yeah, Kenzie saves a lot of content for me until I'm done, then she just spams me. It's okay. I'm just a slow reader. Nah, look, quick story time. In March, I bullied Kenzie into reading this series because I was about to start it, and she finished it before me, and it's been 2 months, and I finally finished both. I don't want to think too hard or put too much time and effort into who's potentially related to who, because again, I don't have that time. But I love what's been served up right now.
And I also love the pure reaction that I get when I'm reading, and I'm shocked.
Yeah, like tearing up. It's like, we know this thing and all that as well.
Yeah, if I go too much into it, then I'm just if I already know it, and I'm okay, I knew it, but
as soon as Aileen gets involved, I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna be so done.
Yeah.
But yeah, perhaps the Star Sword is a part of another trove.
Yeah.
There has to be a third item, a part of it. Maybe the third part of it's in hell, or could it be Damaris, Brennan's sword?
That's what I'm thinking. I also think at some point Feyre's mother comes into all this.
Could you imagine if she was like that high Fae all along?
Yeah.
Or her ancestry would be Fae?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because there's lots of clues about it. But
Then I start doing mental gymnastics of so what's the point of the cauldron in the Perithian world?
Yeah. But then again, because they're all experimental worlds, the Asteri could have been well, in this world, there's a cauldron.
Okay, fair enough. It grants you power and turns you into a fae. I don't know if I saw anything. So was Perithian they didn't conquer. And I don't think we learned...
because it's a multiverse.
Oh, don't add multiverse into what already far out.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know.
God, I like way too many TikToks.
Because, the falling between worlds gives me the parallel vibes, what Aelin did, right? But then Bryce went through a gate. I don't know. I don't fucking know anymore. Too much mental gymnastics.
It's all going to be connected somehow.
Yeah, you're right. I just said I don't want to put time and energy into figuring everything out. I'm happy to just listen.
Found it. I'm going to send this to you on TikTok.
I love that it's finally being connected. It's all good.
Brain is frazzled.
But yeah, just quickly, I don't know how I feel about, Hunt going from slave to free to slave again. But this time, slave with no memory.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just going to be frustrating because he's probably going to have to hunt her down. Literally Hunt, and we're gonna be Hunt, no.
Yeah.
Maybe we lose a mate. See what happens.
Is that because when it's Hunt knew nothing at all?
Yeah, I feel like he's.
I don't know if that's I don't know if that's a literal thing.
As in, not that he has any memories, but he's possessed. He could be possessed.
No, I think it's just the shock. He's just nothing makes sense to him anymore. He's just how did I end up? I think it's just a figure of speech.
Okay, there are some theories going around that they think he has his memory lost.
Oh no.
Bryce is.
Oh no, I don't like that.
See, I don't know if I like it because we've established who he is, his personality.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I think that's too far left field.
I like the trope-ish when it's someone loses their memory, falls in love again. But we didn't know.
She fell first, but he fell harder.
Yeah. But yeah, the whole Asteri archive sequence could have happened a bit quicker. Understandable, they're on a time limit and they're in a hurry, but those moments I feel could have been dragged on a little more. In Bryce's mind, Amren looks like Fury, so Bryce and Amren and Fury could be similar, or because we don't quite know what Fury is.
Yeah.
She's just an OP assassin, just like every other fucker in this book. You're all OP. How did you feel about Bryce's power essentially it being a battery that needs to be charged up?
I wonder if it's more reminiscent of Throne of Glass power, where they have to dig into it.
Oh, okay. But in this world, it's described as a battery more so.
Yeah, or if she's just not aware that she can access it without like, because it's like when Rowan like, and what did they all say, like when they use it all, like they need a rest
Yeah, and recharge.
and recharge.
Also, just the language, like, oh, you gotta level me up, Hunt. It's like, it's so weird.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
it gives me video game vibes from it as well.
Yeah, I don't know if she said it in the last one, actually. I think it might have been this one when she says like to Hunt, like light it up.
Yeah, light it up, Hunt. They said it a couple
Yeah,
times.
and it's like,
I love
ah!
that. See, like, I feel like that's closure now. If she's able to say light it up to someone other than Danica, like, she's kind of over Danica. Yet, Danica's name gets dragged through again. What else? Cormac, he was a cool guy. Honorable sacrifice.
Yeah.
Holding out hope that Sophie was alive. Obviously not.
Yeah.
Any quick kind of theories leading into the next book about what ACOTAR characters are going to do? I've seen some things that perhaps, because I'd already been spoiled, like things get popped up over the internet, that they might be there just for Bryce to train her, learn her powers, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of history lessons.
Yeah, I think it's going to be dual point of view, where it will be like her in Prithian and then like what's going down in Midgard, and then I think it's going to be like that for like the majority of the book, and I think that like a lot of things aren't going to get resolved until the very end, and then I think the end will be like a cliffhanger where like Bryce is like back in her world or whatever, and she's brought like Reese and stuff with her.
Yeah.
And then they're like gearing up for like that final battle.
They'd probably have to find a way to be able to portal through.
Yeah,
like,
because I think if it's going to be I think if it's going to be 4 books, and book 3 is going to be the lead up, and then book 4 will be the battle.
Is Aelin going to be involved?
Aelin. I think at some point they need to bring her in, because it's been confirmed that Kingdom of Ash happens at the same time as Silver Flames, and then this book is at the same time as well, or just after Silver Flames. Like they're all within the same timeline. So at some point they have to bring her in. I think Aelin's going to be a very important character.
She's
because
fucking
they
OP.
haven't mentioned her. They haven't mentioned her in this yet. So I reckon like she's going to come in clutch.
Yeah, on the stag of the Lord of the North.
Yeah, and maybe we'll have some Rowan kids.
Sure. No kids yet. They're too quick with the kids. Okay. Everyone's too quick with the kids. One day, just not now.
Sorry.
What was I going to say quickly? Also quickly established through Danica's research and everything that like shifters are Fae. So does that mean Lysandra is just a pure shifter? Pure blood shifter?
Yeah.
Cool. I just wanted that reassurance.
Yeah.
So obviously Tamlin and his wolf thing is a descendant from blah, blah, blah.
I would like to know about like Lysandra's lifespan then. Like, is she going to live a normal mortal, or like can she just keep shifting back to like a 10-year-old?
I think she's immortal. I feel like she's immortal. But because of the no magic, she got stuck in that form and then forgot her form.
Yeah.
Hypaxia, witch things. It'd be interesting if Manon has an appearance as well, you know, with the witch things.
Yeah.
Because they have some witch history and shit that I'm sure they would love to talk about. It really did give me like Iron Witch vibes from Hypaxia as well. Even though there was no physical descriptions of iron teeth. Maybe she's a Kraken. Yeah, look, so many things. Like, oh my god, I don't even know. I don't even remember what's going on now. Oh, far out. We've done so well, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I ultimately think that like Reese and all that are going to train Bryce. Not much the others can do from the other end. Maybe Declan will be able to track her phone.
Yeah.
Even in a land where technology doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, there has to be something like, because surely she had her phone in her pocket.
Lydia and Rune, it's going to be heartbreaking, but I ship it to the extreme.
Yes.
Mind talk sex? Like, is that just like cyber sex?
Yeah.
Really? Or not cybers, but yeah, mind. That's weird. Poor Hunt's back in the Asteri.
They need to be humbled.
Yeah, I'm happy to call it because my brain is fried. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, thanks for listening, following along at home.
Yeah.
Feel free to hit us up on like Twitter, letterboxbc, Instagram, letterbox_book_club, TikTok, letterboxbookclub. Let us know all your thoughts and opinions, because boy oh boy, this opens a can of worms. Just quickly thought about this before. Do you think the third book will be a book, at least from the ACOTAR point of view, it'll be written in a way where you don't have to have read the other books, do you think? Or is that like impossible?
I think, because I don't think you'll need to know the characters' personal histories.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it'll make more sense for people if you read them.
Cool. That's just a thought to the void.
Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty, thanks for listening.
And don't forget to light it up.
Alrighty, toodles guys. Bye.
Bye.